You talked about the importance of strategic planning.
Absolutely.
And the leaders.
Dynamic strategic planning.
Well, as we know, there's different steps in the strategic planning process. One of the steps that you described was the steps in the actual process of doing the strategic plan, and then where we sometimes fail is in the implementation phase of actually doing what we said we had identified. I want to go back to the strategic planning process itself, and specific to a project that you and I worked on together, the Country Club of Lansing. Can you share some of your thoughts relative to the strategic planning process for the country club, because there are many country clubs that will find themselves in a similar situation. The importance of the process as we went through it, and what happened as a result of going through that process.
For the club industry.
For the country,
clubs.
for that particular country club, but I think it applies to many clubs and associations, many membership-based organizations.
Yeah. And that's the key word, membership-based organizations, because if we know one thing, again, this is the submarine. I look around, and one thing I see is that, in general, people, and particularly younger people, they're not joining. They're not joining. Why aren't they joining? They're too busy. They don't have enough money. They've got family. There's this going on. There's too many other things where I can use my time. Time is a currency. So when you look at a membership-based organization such as a private club, and in this case the Country Club of Lansing is a microcosm of what's happening to that entire industry nationwide. Yes, the economy has impacted the private club industry terrifically because it's a discretionary fund industry. It comes out of the leftover funds. And increasingly we don't have as many leftover funds. So it's impacted that. More importantly, the club industry psychologically to members and prospective members has gone from a yes to a maybe. And that's the biggest change in the industry. When I grew up, one aspired to be a member of a private country club because it was a symbol that you had made it. It had the best restaurant in town. It had the best golf course in town. It had the best swimming pool in town. It had the best tennis courts, the place where you wanted to have your child's wedding or party. It was the epitome. Now, in any community where there is a country club, there are excellent restaurants. There are wonderful high-end daily fee golf courses. There's untold swimming pools. In Michigan, people have up north the beaches. So I don't need it. It has gone from that yes to that maybe. In that process, they have lost sight of the value proposition. What is it that a country club does offer in this changing environment where I don't need you for food? I don't need you for a wedding venue. I don't need you for a country or a golf course because there's other ones I can get a lot cheaper. So they don't know from a strategic planning standpoint what that value proposition is.
What the deliverable is.
The deliverable comes to the value proposition.
So you're separating out the deliverable from the actual value that I as a customer put, the value I put on that deliverable.
The deliverable is a means to an end. It's the Woody principle. What's important to you? Mm-hmm. They have lost sight of it. Their boards tend to be a little bit older. They tend to have been there for a long time. They have...
Are you saying they tend to make decisions on where they've been versus where they're going?
Oh, yeah. Because it's their own little microcosm. It's their own little fiefdom. Oh, yeah.
And what you're really... And what the strategic planning process for an organization like that is to enlighten, identify where the business needs to go, rather understanding where it's been.